Welcome to On Track with LPM. I'm Michelle Tyreen Johnson. Not having regular access to food, let alone healthy food, hits some Louisville communities harder than others. That's why the young people at a nonprofit called the Food Literacy Project decided to make a documentary about the link between transportation and food access. Micah Njai and Tay George join us to discuss the documentary and the harm of food deserts. Micah, you're a youth engagement manager at the Food Literacy Project, which has been around since 2005. What is its purpose and focus?
So the Food Literacy Project was born as a nonprofit out of a for-profit farm, the Oxmoor Farm. We are currently celebrating our 20th year, which is very exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And our mission is youth transforming their communities through food, farming, and the land. So we really focus on providing youth with opportunities to learn how to farm, how to care for the land, and give back to their communities through that work.
So the whole mission is for young folks.
Yes.
That's great. And are most of the young folks who live in the Louisville area?
Yes, we do focus on youth that live in the Louisville area from ages 16 to 21.
Okay. So you kind of addressed this, but I'll still want to dig a little deeper. You work with the Youth Community Agriculture Program. Do they call it YCAP for short?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So why is it that you focus on the younger members of our community?
It's very important for young people to have this knowledge of growing their food and giving back to their communities to pass it to the next generation. Oftentimes, people will stay in power for a very long time and they don't get to pass the knowledge that they have to the younger generations, and we feel like that's very important. We also do work in elementary schools, so we go even younger than the teenagers and young adults that we have working on our farm. But really, we just want to focus on passing the knowledge of how to feed yourself healthy food, how to grow that healthy food, how to feed your communities and your families to the younger generation so that they can take that forth and hopefully they will continue to grow that work to generations after them as well.
Tay, you worked on a documentary about transportation and food access. Could you tell me a little bit about that documentary and what you discovered from it?
So going over the documentary, we found there's over 22,000 restaurants more than there are grocery stores.
Wow.
And that really piqued my interest because I do see more restaurants than I do see grocery stores, especially in the area where I live. There's probably maybe 2 or 3 grocery stores altogether when there's hundreds of different restaurants just in my part of my section of town alone. So that was something that really piqued my interest throughout our research.
About what part of town do you live in, if you don't mind?
I live in the Shawnee area.
Okay.
So around my area, I can say the only grocery store that there really is Kroger's and a Save-A-Lot. Other than that, you have to go to a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, Family Dollar and a Dollar General to get the necessities you need to thrive in your situation. But I can go somewhere out popular level and there'll be almost 10 grocery stores for however many houses that's out there. So yeah, it's just something I kind of picked up on along my journey.
Did you know what a food desert was before you started working on this documentary?
No, actually, when I first joined the Food Literacy Project, that was the first time I heard about a food desert. I just thought I never really paid that much mind into it until when I grew older. And when I found out about what it really is, it kind of really made sense of how our predicament was when I was younger. That I look back up now as that was what I went through. Was a food desert, especially in the part of Shawnee that I live in. It's close to like I said, there's practically no grocery stores over there. If Kroger's were to close down, then there wouldn't be any grocery stores, period.
I know what you're saying. I mean, one of the reasons I was asking the question is we can live an experience without knowing what to call the experience, right? And so when it's what you're used to, you don't even think that one, there's another way of living it, or two, that there's a name for it.
Right.
If I recall, your documentary is about the correlation of transportation and access to food. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
So another little personal anecdote that I had is that me being from Shawnee and like the predicament, there was difference in like food selections. So like there will be less like healthier type of foods that you will necessarily need to kind of like, the proteins, nutrients, all that, than it would be in different higher end like neighborhoods. Like I go way out like east and it'll be like different fruits I've never really heard of, like dragon fruits, kumquat.
It was eye-opening, it sounds like.
It's eye-opening. Like it's
Yeah.
very, very like astonishing to like see the differences in foods that I would even think would come to our stores in the section of the city I'm from. If you don't have proper transportation to even get to job, like me, I had to go from Shawnee all the way out PRP or Pleasure Ridge Park to get to work. And that's like constant. I had to either take lifts or I had to ask my family members to take me to work. Yeah, even that kind of like does something to like money if you having like money situations. Like it all kind of plays a role into that.
Right, and if you don't have a car, I think it makes it that much harder to get groceries. I mean, I've seen people at bus stops or walking long distances with grocery bags.
We interviewed Mr. Doug, and he's
He's a marriage and family counselor at the Cabbage Patch.
the Cabbage Patch Food Pantry, and he talked about the differences that he's experienced, and he's been working there for almost 20 years, I believe he said, and the differences that he's seen come and gone and over those 20 years, and it kind of like changed my like viewpoint on like a certain thing when it comes to like food pantries, because a lot of people really, I wouldn't say look down upon food pantries, but like
You're right, though. Some do, yeah.
like some of them just think that, oh, it's for like people who don't have any food at their house. It's for like, the lesser type of people, when it's really not. So like I really feel like interviewing Mr. Doug kind of changed my viewpoints on how we look at like food pantries.
Is that because he was telling you about the different kinds of people who went to the food pantries? That it ranged from people who don't have any food to who have food, but they need more nutritious food because they just don't make enough money?
I say it was like a mixture of both. He said that definitely like around 2020 as well, when coronavirus, he said that he's seen people who were like of lower class and people of higher class who came to his pantry to get like food during like the COVID-19 pandemic. He started to see a vast array of people come, and he never really seen that in his 20 years of like working there, just like all sort of people.
Micah, how many youth do you think worked on the project?
About 10. So with the Food Literacy Project, we hire a new crew every season. So I hire a crew of young people in the fall, in the summer, and in the spring. I usually hire about 10 to 12 of them. And the way that they all do a unique culminating project at the end of the season. And the way that they come up with it is we do an activity called Real versus Ideal. So we map out, what does your ideal world look like? And they throw out all kinds of ideas. We would have parks, we would have fresh flowers, we would have fruit trees. And then we compare that to, what does the real world look like? So we kind of try to find, how can we bring our real world closer to our ideal world? What kind of project can we highlight to inspire people to make a change to get us closer to that? So the issues that they highlighted was transportation and food access, and that's kind of how this project was birthed. But about 10 of them worked on this final project.
So how did the documentary work? I mean, did you use cameras, phones, video equipment? I mean, how did you do it?
Yes, we had a communication specialist, Demetrius Davis, and he is pretty experienced with videography and things of that nature, and he had a camera. We had several guests come out to our farm to speak about their experience with this kind of work and with populations who are affected by this issue. And we videoed them over the course of several weeks and put it all together. We interviewed the youth and made a documentary at the end.
Where can someone find the documentary?
You can find it on our YouTube page, Food Literacy Project. If you search it on YouTube, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram as well, and it's all Food Literacy Project. And you can find us there, and you can watch the documentary there.
I also saw on your Facebook page, good old Facebook, that there is a booklet that goes with the documentary, and you share Tark stops that are near food pantries. Is there any other information that the booklet conveys?
Yeah, so our booklet, that is a large part of it, is linking Tark stops to different grocery stores. That document is actually available on our website, foodliteracyproject.com, if anyone is interested in seeing it. And the rest of the booklet was a couple of facts that the youth found about transportation and the lack of access to healthy food in neighborhoods, and then also the crew bios and what they like to do outside of farming and serving their communities.
So as you look at what you've accomplished with the documentary, and this is to both of you, and you look at what you're trying to accomplish in general with the Food Literacy Project, what is it that you would love to see change in the Louisville community? If there's one thing you could have change from people seeing this documentary and hearing about it, what would it be?
I feel like personally that one thing that I wish could happen, and I hopefully do wish that happen, we'll see more farmers and community take action against like the food deserts and food insecurity, and properly educate themselves on different like agriculture, different types of problems in their communities, and see what they can do to help themselves.
Yeah. What about you?
I would like healthy food to be more accessible to all communities in Louisville. Every community, as Tay mentioned earlier, does not have the same access to the same kinds of food, and that's a large part of our mission. Is helping youth discover their power to spread that knowledge to their communities, to their friends, and to their families, and to help get some of that healthy food out. We grow all kinds of food on our farm, and the first time I had one of our cucumbers, I wondered if I had ever had a cucumber before because it was so good, it was so fresh, and my hope for our community is that kind of food can be available to all people and not just concentrated in one area. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Our work is community supported, and if you all want to follow us or find out more about what we do, feel free to visit our website, again, foodliteracyproject.org, to keep up with everything that we're doing. We have some exciting things coming up, and we always have fresh food that is available for free to our community.
On Track is produced by Louisville Public Media. Our production team includes Aisha Jaffer, Laura Ellis, and me, with assistance from Alex Biscardi. Our music is by Kojin Toshiro. Find more at LouisvilleOnTrack.org. Thanks for listening.
I'm no designer, but I know my brand inside and out, and I know a generic-looking website when I see one. Wix Harmony has blown me away. It's a website builder that lets me switch back and forth between using AI and hands-on editing tools, so I can create a website exactly the way I pictured it. I even get a personal AI agent that's an expert in web design and helps me out. Try it out for free at wix.com/harmony. That's wix.com/harmony.